Folks, what's up? Welcome to the Scotty P Show. Woo! Coming at y'all from sunny Cienega, California,
Yes,
2788 Studios up in the executive suite. We had last week off, but we are back to talk some good football with y'all.
Yeah.
4 marquee games. We ain't had marquee games the past few weeks, man. So it's really nice to get back to talking them.
Yes,
we got 2 morning games. We got an afternoon game. Got a primetime game. We got a battle of the future quarterback superstars coming up. We got a battle against 2 of the top offenses in the National Football League. We got 2 games that might be giving them 1972 undefeated Dolphins another time to celebrate. One being a divisional matchup, other one being a revang of the Super Bowl. But it ain't really revang, and y'all know why, but if you don't, we'll get back to that later on in the episode. Now, Phil, this season challenge and every season of the challenge has been about them scrim. So we got to do them records. Do you know the records?
I have no clue.
I don't know the records either, and the stat guy didn't do his homework. We're blaming that on him this week. So, with no further ado and all that being said, Mr. Woozy White Boy, bring us on in.
You did.
What it do? This is Alabama's own Woozy White Boy, and y'all tuned in to the Scotty P Show.
You did.
This first game we're going to talk about, folks, is the 4-1 Detroit Lions and the 5-0 undefeated Minnesota Vikings. This is that divisional matchup we were talking about, UNC.
Yes, sir.
Both teams coming off that bye week last week.
Rested.
Yeah, Minnesota didn't play. Detroit played, but it was still considered an off week because they were playing them cow cooties, man. Nevertheless, does Detroit get the Miami Dolphins one step closer to popping that champagne and beat them undefeated Minnesota Vikings?
Look, man, the winner of this one takes first place in NFC North. This is a big game. Both teams are, tightly evenly matched, but the Lions have been on a roll this year after having suffered an early season loss against the Bucs. And, of course, Mini Scrotum is undefeated. But big loss last week for Detroit. Aiden Hutchinson, their star defensive end. I don't know if you saw the replay.
Yeah.
Went down with a gruesome leg injury. That thing just whipped right. Yeah, you could tell if you read lips, he was mouthing, it's broke, yeah. I broke it. Yeah,
broke
so
that shit.
That was bad, dog. But like I said, the Vikings have a really, really stout defense. But on the flip side, the Lions are a top tier. They have a top tier offensive line, and they're bad. They got that running attack at Gibbs and Montgomery, and they beat the mini scrotum Vikings 3 times in a row. We're gonna make it 4. Go Lions!
You know how in the intro I was talking about 2 of the leading scoring teams playing each other. This team right here, the Lions, that ain't the game I was talking about. Why? Is Detroit not one of the leading scoring teams in the NFL?
I thought.
Now, Detroit is the leading scoring team in the National Football League. But Minnesota has one hell of a defense. Brian Flores over there coaching it, defensive coordinator. Lions head coach Dan Campbell. Both of them former Miami Dolphins head coaches. We ain't talking about the Dolphins.
No,
we ain't talking about the Dolphins?
Nah, we ain't talking about it.
Praise him. Minnesota has some quality wins. Minnesota has some quality wins, dog. Beat them Green Bay native touches. Beat the hell out of C.J. Stroud and my Houston Texans over there. Took down Vic's 49ers.
Favorite team.
Absolutely favorite. Come out the womb loving them. Detroit doesn't have any of those wins. They do not have a win against a team that has a winning record right now. The only team they've played that has a winning record is your boy Baker Mayfield and them Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they lost that game. But I think this game might come down to the run game. Detroit giving them a heavy dose behind that offensive line you're talking about. Montgomery and Gibbs. And as you said, that boy Hutch is hurt. But when you're hurt, you're angry. When you're hurt, you're mad. They gonna rally around that boy. They are gonna bring Miami one step closer to celebrating them 1972 undefeated Dolphins. Give me Harold and the Demotes. Lions, baby.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Second game we talking about, folks, them Houston Texans visiting the Green Bay Native Touches up there in Lambeau Field. Battle of the up-and-coming superstars that I was talking about earlier in the intro. We talking about Jordan Love, and we're talking about C.J. Stroud. They're both stars now, but they're going to be the superstars and the faces of the league after your Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen group leaves. They both did great for their teams last year. They both won a wild card matchup and led their team into the divisional round. Mm-hmm. We're not going to get to see this matchup often because they're in different conferences, so they'll play once every 4 years. We might get a couple matchups in between there, and if they go to the Super Bowl, we'll see them. But we're not going to see it a lot, so this is the one we really want to see. Uncle Phil, UNC Philly D with his West Coast family. White boy drinking brown liquor, Tennessee. White boy drinking brown liquor, Tennessee. Who do you have winning the first installment of the C.J. Stroud-Jordan Love rivalry?
Like you said, this is a big, big game between two up-and-comers. But even at 4-2, the touches are in dead last in their division.
That's wild.
You know what I mean? 4-2, and
they're
freaking last. Yeah,
with them having the Bears,
The
with them in there.
But
they're still in last. Damn.
Joe Mixon is definitely balling out for the Texans. I mean, I got him on my fantasy, getting me mad points. I like that shit. But the touches have a top 10 run-stopping defense. They're up there, dog. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the matchup in the trenches go. But the Texans have only beat the touches one time in franchise history. I mean, one time. I don't know how many times they played. I got to ask my sources of Google about that one.
Contact your sources.
But, yeah, this is Lambeau. The crowd's going to be into it. I mean, you've been there. I've never been there, but, bucket list stuff. But
yeah.
They're going to be in Lambeau. They're going to need this game to keep up with the Lions and the Vikings. So I'm going with Richie Rich's Native Touches.
Damn, not the natives.
Free massages in the parking lot at halftime.
Bring out the table.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon did come back last week. He got hurt in week 2. This is his first game back. 102 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Couple receptions for 30 yards, got him another touchdown right there.
Yeah.
Both quarterbacks played very well last week. CJ only threw for 200, but he had 3 touchdowns. Jordan Love, 260, had 4 touchdowns. Yeah. Both of them threw a pick, so that's a little mistake, but it happens, man. You're both really young. Both teams had really good production from their starting running back, but also from their complimentary second-string running back, getting there with a bunch of touches and gaining sufficient yards. Nico Collins is still going to be out for Houston. Man, that dude's a beast. Michigan boy. Beast, but they still got Stephon Diggs. Man, one of their backups is Mechie from Alabama, and that dude was a Heisman candidate. I mean, he's a guy who's just on the practice squad. That's how deep the fucking Houston Texans are.
Ooh.
They
run deep.
As I said, this is the battle of the up-and-coming superstars, Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud, and I'm just going to pick with my heart on this one, man. I ain't even doing no stats of why I'm picking it. Just my heart. And even though that boy went to OH, I don't know about all that. I'm going with my boy C.J. Stroud and them Houston Texans to touch them Packers. Give me the Texans, baby. Primetime game this week, Monday Night Football. Baltimore Ravens heading down to Florida. Man, can you still even go to Florida right now? That shit got fucked up. And going to Tampa Bay, which is where my brother lives. Good thing he's all good. He said nothing really bad happened in his neighborhood. Some twigs down, a couple branches. Yeah. Power was on the whole time, water running, all that good shit. He probably lives in a good, nice neighborhood with all that stuff.
White side.
Hey, I didn't. These are 2 4-2 teams facing off. These are 2 of the best scoring teams that I was mentioning in the intro. 29.7 points per game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 29.5 points per game for the Baltimore Ravens. I expect both offenses to go off. Both offenses to snap and entertain us for those 3 hours. Uncle Phil, sir. How do you see this game unfolding?
Man, after a rough start, the Ravens have won 4 in a row. I mean, They're doing damn good now. That didn't look promising at first, but on the other side, the Bucs, they have a pretty decent defense, but as far as third down efficiency goes, they rank one of the lowest in the league. Where on the flip side, the Ravens are the NFL's leader in what the hell was I talking about?
Phil Pause.
Phil Pause. The Ravens are the NFL's leader in third down efficiency. So they got some bad dudes on that side. Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. I mean, whew. But the Bucs, Baker Mayfield has been playing pretty good this year. They put up 51 points, even though he threw 3 interceptions, but whatever.
MVP.
He's got some serious weapons to work with.
Jen's quarterback.
And they're going to be at home. Man, this is a rough one. But you know what? I'm still flying with the birds of a different feather color. Let's go Ravens.
Before I get into these notes, I do have to mention this. And I ain't always on stats because stats don't always tell the whole story. They can tell a lot of it, but not the whole thing.
Ooh.
But when you hear the crazy stats, you just got to mention them. Baltimore is out-rushing their opponents by 150 yards a game.
Damn.
Not they're putting up 150 yards a game. They're out-rushing them. So if you put up 50, Baltimore's putting up 200. You put up 100, they're putting up 250.
Math.
They are 6 games in. They're like 880 yards above what the other team is, man. So right around 148 or whatever that make it. But Derrick Henry, Roll Tide, is in there. But to go back to the notes, I expect this to be like a Big 12 football game, which is where Baker Mayfield played some college football, over there in Oklahoma. Oh, did you see when Texas planted the flag with his jersey?
Yeah.
They asked him what he thought about it. He said, hey, I'm just a boy from Austin, Texas, who played college football in Oklahoma and won my last 2 Red River rivalry games. And I still live rent-free in their head a decade later.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. Love Baker Mayfield, Jen. I know you love him, too.
Favorite.
This weekend, you're going to have to score. And the next time you get the ball, you're going to have to score again. And the time after that, you're going to have to score more. It's going to be like that. It is going to be that Big 12-style shootout.
Back and
If
forth.
you can't keep up, you go lose, big dog.
Big dog.
This is going to be a bunch of unexpected plays, a lot of scrambling and a breakdown of a play, and these quarterbacks making things happen with the feet, making things happen with the arms. Man, it's going to be fucking entertaining. Both of these quarterbacks are extremely, extremely competitive.
Yeah.
One's coming from the state of Texas. One's coming from South Florida, places where football is king from the time you were a little kid. That's all these kids fucking know, man. Both teams fun. Both teams are fun, extremely fun to watch. Watch these games, even without playing each other. Anytime they're playing, guarantee you'll be entertained. Guarantee. Now Jen's boy is in here. She secretly has him as her favorite player. She's going to see him in a couple weeks when she goes to Kansas City on that Monday Night Football. KC Chiefs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. She's going to have her Baker jersey under her Mahomes jersey. But we know the deal with her. And I want to pick her homie because I want to pick this game with my heart. But I'm trying to win these scrimps. I had to pay for them one time. I won twice. I'm trying to win a third time. So I'm going with my brain on this one. Flying with that purple flock, baby. Give me them Baltimore Ravens. The game of the week, folks. Game numero cuatro. Could have went with that Detroit Lions Minnesota game. But this right here is a rematch of the Super Bowl. It's an afternoon game. How is this game not primetime? You know, have the two teams that met up for the Super Bowl in a primetime game. San Francisco's looking for that revang. But UNC, Philly D, it ain't really revang if they win this game, is it right?
No.
This is a regular season game.
So mid.
San Francisco has lost 2 Super Bowls in the past 4 years to these damn Kansas City Chiefs. So it ain't revang if you're winning in the regular season at all.
Not at all.
This could be a big game for the 49ers. And not that big for the Chiefs. They're not thinking about it as deep as the Niners are.
Ooh.
But do you see San Francisco being able to play this game up in Levi Stadium, get a W, and feel better about themselves?
Look, man. Chiefs have been dealing with inconsistent play and injuries, but still managed to stay undefeated. Now, like you said, not really a revenge game. If they're Patrick Mahomes is 4-0 against the Niners, including, like you said, 2 Super Bowl victories. And the Chiefs are coming off a bye. And we all know how Andy Reid is off a bye. According to my sources at Google, he is 21-4 coming off a bye, the best in NFL history. Now, McCaffrey's out for the Niners, and backup running back Jordan Mason has a bum shoulder. So keep an eye on that. I don't know how well they're going to do running the ball. But like I said, Mr. Irrelevant somehow manages to find a way. And they got Kittle back. That's big. But it don't matter where they're playing. Patrick Mahomes has got their number, dog. I'm going with them Chiefs.
Mr. Irrelevant, as you call him, is out there earning his money.
Yeah,
that boy's making some plays. Brock Purdy ain't even making a lot of money right now. That's how you get to sign all their players that they have. Soon enough, they won't be able to.
Nah.
But we ain't talking about soon enough. We're talking about right now. And they got Purdy out there making plays with his leg and his arm. I mean, I ain't saying he's looking MVP-like, but I'm saying he's out there winning those games for his motherfucking team. And he's about to get paid. San Francisco ain't having that good of a year. 3-3, but still not having that good of a year.
Yeah.
Not playing up to their competition sometimes. When you lose that Super Bowl, the pros always talk about that Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah.
They seem to have that. But I got a feeling they'll be getting up for this game.
Ooh.
You're playing for the you're playing against the Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl champions that beat you in the Super Bowl. Not once, but hey, Jen, how'd they say it on that Wheaties commercial, that Campbell Soup commercial? Travis Kelce is the champion twice. Although he's won his third since then, but they ain't going to win 3 in a year. Sorry to break it to you, Jen. But the San Francisco 49ers will get up for this game against the Chiefs because the Chiefs are the champions. And that's how folks get up for them games against Alabama. Roll Tide. Because you play the champions, man. That's who you get up to play. Your boy McCaffrey is still out.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he's going to be for a while. Hopefully they get him back at the end of the season. Half of Kansas City's damn offense is out, though.
Yeah.
They're losing a bunch of folks.
Frank.
But if
Isaiah
them Detroit Lions win, like I predicted earlier in the show, against the Minnesota Vikings, and break their undefeated streak, and San Francisco can invite Kansas City into the house, beat them, then them 72 Dolphins are popping that champagne, and we sure enough will be popping champagne in week 8 on the Scotty P Show. We popped once when the fucking Eagles lost their last game. We're gonna lose. I mean, we're gonna pop it when Kansas City Chiefs end up losing theirs if Minnesota loses first. It ain't gonna be this week. Too much Andy Reid. Too much WYQBB. What's that stand for? Who's your quarterback, bitch? Well, Michelle Jeezy spot. And Jen's quarterback is Patrick Mahomes, and that's who I'm taking this week. Give me number 15 all day. Chiefs.
Take us on out, Woozy Watt. Boy! You dig?